Most people, when they learn that they can actually create their reality, fall into this trap where they take one step forward, but then one step back over and over and over again. And this obviously allows for little progress in your life in actually being able to create your reality. And the reason people do this is because they learn these principles, they start applying them, but then a little bit of chaos comes up, or a challenge comes up, or something similar, and then they take a step back into their comfort zone because they think the chaos shouldn't be there, they have to get away from it, or they're just not aware of what's going on and how to handle it so that they can keep moving forward. But what would happen if you learned why this chaos is coming up, why it's a natural part of the process and actually beneficial, and how to remain calm in the face of it so that you can take another step forward rather than continually taking steps forward then backwards? What would actually happen is you would start creating reality powerfully for yourself. You would start manifesting way more of the things you want and start living the life you envision for yourself. You would also know how to repeat this process time and time again as you continue to create over time. Now, for many, this is the missing piece when it comes to reality creation that so many people are missing. They have a lot of the puzzle already together, but if you don't have this piece and learn how to apply it, you will keep in that perpetual loop of one step forward but one step back, never really making progress. And so in this video, I'm going to give you some incredibly powerful awarenesses and tools on how to apply this. So I highly recommend you take notes, you really pay attention, even watch it multiple times if you have to, because it is so essential you get this down if you want to create reality for yourself powerfully. So let's jump into how you can do this, why this kind of stuff happens, and give you the full picture so you can then start to create powerfully in your own life. So why is it that when we embark on this journey of expanding our awarenesses and going to create reality, really going on this path that people call self-development or call, something where you're trying to manifest your dreams and you're doing these positive things, why is it that chaos comes up? I thought if I focused on positive things, like things attract like things. So why is there this chaos? What is the point of the storm coming up? Is there a point? Well, actually there is, because when you go on this journey of starting to deliberately create your reality, let's assume for the most part, for most of you, in the past you weren't doing that. So in the past, even though you weren't conscious of it, you were entertaining more negativity, certain thoughts, words, patterns, energies, and actions that led to you currently living the life you're currently living, because your physical circumstances are simply your energetic history. So now you've started to shift that. Let's say you are now entertaining new thoughts on a more positive end of the spectrum. You are entertaining new actions that are on that side of the spectrum too. You are speaking differently. You are feeling differently. Essentially, you are now giving off a completely different level, a completely different energy to the universe. You are expanding that outwards. You are transmitting that outwards, where in the past you were doing, let's say, the opposite. The new way in which you are living your life and you are moving resonates with different things on all planes of existence, including the physical. The so-called things in your life that you don't like came about because you were resonating with them for long enough, so they came about. But now you're changing that. And that means the physical has to change to start matching this new frequency or this new vibration that you're starting to send out. What does that mean? Certain things that represent an older vibration or an older story in your life have to start being cleared out to make room for the new. You can't have both. You can't have the low vibration stuff in your life and then have the newer, higher vibration stuff come in. The old stuff has to be cleared away to create the space for this new level to come in. This is why, for example, you'll see this happen a lot where someone is doing this. They're really focusing on their thoughts. They know that they become what they think about. They're shifting their energy. They're raising their consciousness. And let's say they're in a particular job that they don't enjoy. It's stifling them. It is preventing them from really expanding themselves, creating reality in the way that they want, etc. And let's say one of the things they want is financial abundance and independence. And then they actually lose the job. Now, most people panic, but when you really look at it, that job has to be removed in order to create the space for the thing that's going to allow you to have the financial freedom. And freedom being a key word there, because let's say in this old job, you felt anything but free. And so we label it as it's not working or only bad things are happening, but the universe, life is just clearing things out to prepare you for the new, and it has to happen. And so this is actually a common thing that happens to people. We even have someone who went through our 6-month transformation reality creation program, and this happened to her, I think 2 weeks into the program. She left her job and she had no idea what she was going to do next, but she trusted this process. She knew that the old had to be cleared out that wasn't serving her, that was at a lower vibration than where she was going. And then I think like a week later, a new job presented itself that was much more aligned and for higher pay. These things can come in quickly when you trust the process and do the work, and that's what she did. And so this is something that can happen, but it has to be cleared out to make room for the new. Now, this can happen in multiple areas, not just vocation. For example, relationships is another common one. When someone goes on this pathway, certain people start falling out of their lives. Even romantic relationships start falling off because the person in that relationship, the other person, isn't coming up with you as you're going through this process. And they're in a frequency of vibration that doesn't match where you are going, right? It can happen in friendships. It can happen even, in families where there's not as much communication or connection anymore because you're in two completely different places. And it's not better or worse, right or wrong. It's just how this works, that when you are moving to this new place, certain things that existed in the old place that don't match that vibration, that don't match that frequency, let's say they're down here, have to start falling off to make room for the new relationships, the new connections, the new job, the new way you relate to health or whatever else it is. Now, what happens, especially in these two areas, I find with relationships and the job, is people begin to panic. This is where they take that step forward and they start inviting life to come in and help them. Life is actually coming in and trying to help by removing certain things from your life that are heavy, that are energetic anchors, that are weighing you down from your potential and where you're trying to go. But then people panic and take that step back into their old story, keep the relationships, the connections, keep the old job that they don't really like, but they're not sure what's going to happen next, so they keep it. This is what usually happens. One step forward, one step back, and nothing is going to change until you fully embrace that new vibration, that new thing you're stepping into, that new reality you're trying to create for yourself. You have to be all in. If you just dip your toes and you keep going back and forth, you'll be given the illusion that you're making progress. But if we were to look at a graph of you going up and then down, up and down, it would just be a straight line across of what progress you've actually made. Now, this is actually not the only way in which chaos can come up when you go on this journey. It can also be feedback and challenges designed to help you grow on your path so that you are equipped with something you're going to need as you progress. For example, if you think of it from a school analogy, if you do not pass the tests on 5th grade, you're not going to graduate to the 6th grade, right? But when you pass those tests, you're now prepared for 6th grade and you can move on to that grade. It's the same in life. You can almost think of it like Earth School. There are certain lessons you're going to go through, and you're not moving into the next phase or the next evolution of your life until you pass those lessons. And those lessons don't need to take a long time. You can pass them quickly, but some people take 20 years to pass one lesson, while one person can take a few months, another person can take a few months, because they're actually listening to the feedback, they're actually embracing the discomfort of being outside their comfort zone, they're embracing and staying calm in the storm, and then moving through that test, passing that test, having been equipped with emotional maturity and demonstrating that, or being equipped with the faith needed or whatever else it is. And so understand that life will test you to make sure you are ready for this thing you say you want. A great example of this is people who win the lottery who then end up in more debt than they started out when they win the lottery. Why? Because they didn't pass all the tests needed for financial literacy to know how to make money work. And so even when presented with millions of dollars, end up losing it all because they never gained those awarenesses and valuable tools they needed that most people who get to that level of wealth actually do learn because they go through the process naturally instead of just being given something all at once. Right? And that's why we're not given things all at once. We need to go through these lessons, this feedback, to gain the tools, awarenesses, insights, and things we need to help us and make sure we can operate at whatever that next level is. So what is the chaos? Ultimately, understand it is not here to beat you up. It is here to serve you. It is here to present you with opportunities. It is here to present you with awarenesses and equip you with tools that are only going to help you along the journey. And so not to look at it in a negative light, but to look for the opportunity. When you are on this journey and you fall down and scrape your knee, instead of complaining or getting worked up about it, start digging for the gold, because there's a message there, there is feedback, there is something that is going to help you along the way. So what I would like to do now is give you what's called the movie script analogy. That's really going to paint a picture of why the chaos starts to come up when we start to change. Now, this is a clip from another video where I think I explained it very well, so I'm going to put that in now in just a moment. But this is so crucial to understand, and I think will give you a lot of aha moments. I really recommend watching this part multiple times, writing notes, really getting this, because it is such a key that can unlock so much for you when it comes to reality creation. So let me play that for you now. So I'm going to lead up to this wisdom by giving you an insanely powerful analogy that we actually give some of our high-paying students and clients that is really going to paint a picture of how our reality works. So I want you to imagine that your life is like a movie. So you are living the life of your movie, or your movie is your life. So you're living the movie of you. Whatever your name is, that is your movie. I want you to imagine that, like on a movie, you have a movie set, you have script writers, you have like the other actors in your movie. So you have like secondary characters. Now I want you to imagine that what you're seeing in your everyday life is literally just the script of your movie playing out. So I want to make an important distinction here when it comes to this metaphor, to this analogy. So your life is this movie, right? And so you're playing out in the movie of you. But a lot of people think that they are the character on screen instead of the actor that is playing the character. So for example, one my mentor likes to make is Daniel Craig plays James Bond. So he plays James Bond. But is Daniel Craig James Bond? No, as soon as he leaves the movie set, he's Daniel Craig. He's just playing a character. And so to understand that in this movie of your life, you are simply playing a character that is adhering to a specific script that the script writers are making. There's a script, you are playing a character from that script, but you are the actor, you're kind of looking at the script and you're going on, you're kind of in the scene of your life. So you wake up, you're in the scene of when you're waking up in the morning, you go brush your teeth, you go do whatever, you're in that scene, and you're playing this character of whatever your name is. But behind the character is the actor, and this is kind of our true selves. This is kind of our energetic selves. This is kind of our higher self, even, if you will. So just a distinction to make, you are playing a character, but you're really the actor in the same way that Daniel Craig is playing the character James Bond in the James Bond movies, but he's not James Bond. He's just playing that character in that specific movie. And that's an increase in awareness when you realize that you're just playing a character. Most people get hooked into the character they're playing, forgetting that they're just playing a character, and they are so much more. Now, your movie looks a certain way because of what the script writers are writing for you in the movie, right? So again, Daniel Craig plays James Bond. He's just acting out whatever is written in the script. The things showing up on set are whatever the script writers are writing into the set, whatever they're writing into the story. Now here's where it gets interesting. When it comes to the movie of your life, you have certain script writers whose job is to write a certain genre for your movie. Now, how many people, for example, do you see who seem to be having a very dramatic, like drama, melodramatic type of life? It's always got this gossip and all these things are happening to them all the time and they're complaining all the time. Well, the reason is because they have script writers who are writing a melodramatic script. Right? So by design, on this movie set of their life, which is your physical world, by the way, so the movie set represents your physical life, it's going to bring in people that fuel that drama. It's going to bring in events that fuel that drama. And as long as you think you're the character and it's all happening to you, you're going to get hooked into this and not know how to move on to a different set that has different script writers. And I promise I'm getting to the big part of piece in the puzzle in just a bit. But this might actually be a revelation for you, this idea I'm going over right now. So how do you start changing your reality so that you're not living based on this drama-based script that these script writers are giving you? Now here's what most people do, is they go up to the script writers and they start yelling at them. They start trying to take the pen out of their hand and write it themselves. But this is not the way to do it. As soon as you walk away, the script writer's just going to cross off whatever you wrote and put back in the drama script. Now, why is this? It's because the script writer at the level you're currently at, it's their job to give you whatever script you're getting. But how do we change the script? Well, it's not about trying to influence the script writers wherever you are. What you have to understand, it's like having like a 10-story building, and on each different level of that building are different script writers that are writing completely different scripts. Okay, so I hope you're with me so far. Each of those scripts lead to a different style of movie, a different genre. So on one floor, the lower levels, you have things like a guilt script, a very kind of low conscious script. You have things like a drama, you have things like a horror movie, so it's fear-based at those lower levels. But as you go up the levels in this building with different script writers, you start having action and adventure. You start having comedies. You start having, profound movies that move you emotionally. So the question is, how do we move up the building? Well, it's very simple. You hook yourself out of being the character and realize that you're actually the actor playing a character. And you see that you're on this movie scene. You're in this movie scene on this set, and it seems to be drama-based. Now, the scriptwriters are there. You understand at this point that going up to them and asking them to change it is fruitless, because that's their job. They're on the drama floor. They're produced and paid to write a literal drama. So they're not going to change that. They're not going to take input from you to completely change the script that you've agreed to play in, even if you didn't know you agreed to do it. So what do? We walk up to the elevator and we press up. It really is that simple. And this is where this missing puzzle piece comes into play. So if you've ever felt in line with this analogy that you've actually done that, so things are kicking up in your outside world, you're in this drama thing, and you're just like, you know what? I know that my inner world leads to my outer. I know this is fine. I'm just going to not hook into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to raise my consciousness. I'm just going to raise my energy. I'm going to be in a high vibration despite all that's happening. Now, what you may have experienced is that means you stepped into the elevator because you're raising your consciousness and you're moving up to a new floor. And let's say this new floor is now like a more, just kind of witty, kind of fun kind of movie, like action-oriented movie. So you've moved up. You're now on this floor because the drama was happening on the set in the other floor, and you're just like, okay, that's happening. I'm not going to resist it. But this is the drama floor. So if I don't want a drama, I need to choose a new level in the building that just has different script writers. So you move up to the next level. And this is where this piece comes in, because this happens to people. They move up that level. And if you ever noticed, like you kind of do that, but then you kind of seesaw between two levels. So maybe the drama script, and then you're like, oh my God, now my life is all flowy and action-oriented and adventurous. Oh wait, now I'm back on the drama. Oh, I'm back here again. And you're kind of like going up and down. Well, this is why this happens, because very few people understand what I'm about to give you right now. And this is called the law of continuity. What happens when people don't understand the law of continuity? So here we go. This is how the law of continuity works, right? So you move up floors, and there you go. You're on this new floor of action, adventure, and everything else. But here's the thing. If you expect, just because you're on this floor, that snap like that, all of that's going to form, and now all the drama stuff's going to be gone, it can't, because of the law of continuity. You see, what actually happens when you move up the floors is the script writers on the floor you're currently on, so you're on the drama floor script writers hand you a copy of the script. And you take it up with you, and you have to because of the law of continuity. And so you're essentially taking that script up with you, you hand it over to the new script writers whose job is to write action, adventure, comedy. And they go, okay, so here's the script you've currently been working with. We need to write around this script. They can't just throw it out because it would break the law of continuity. It would ruin the game. It would ruin the movie. There would be, like if you watch a movie and something that doesn't make sense suddenly happens, well, then it takes people out of the illusion. It kind of knocks you out of a movie and you remember, oh, I was watching a movie, and you're not able to get hooked into it and actually buy into it. So if you go from like so much drama and then you snap your fingers and now suddenly you're a millionaire with a perfect relationship and all these different things, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work, and the game would be broken, the movie would be broken, right? So there has to be the law of continuity. And what that means is you are still going to have a little bit of drama residue when you move up the floor from the script. But because these script writers write action, adventure, comedy, they're going to have to remove some of the things in your life that adhere to the drama comedy. So one way my mentor puts it, let's say in the drama comedy, or that's not drama comedy, but in the drama movie, you had a boss who was just he was awful, like just the worst boss on the planet, right? So micromanaging you every second, making you angry, like just completely cold and kind of an a-hole, right? Now, why did you have that boss on the drama channel when you were playing the drama movie? Because you were on the drama floor. So the script writers wrote things in like that because you were on the drama level. It makes sense. You want drama in your life, having a terrible boss is definitely going to provide that. You want drama in your life, having a terrible partner that's not right for you is going to be that, right? But now that you're on this action adventure comedy floor, the script writers have to start writing out the boss, but they can't just snap their fingers and pretend the boss doesn't exist, right? So you might have to lose that job or become fired. Or if you have a partner, you may need your partner to push your buttons finally to the point where you're like, this isn't right, and you break up with them or resolve it in some other way. And so through the law of continuity, they are going to have to write in some way that allows your script or allows your movie to start settling more on the action adventure comedy. They're going to have to remove or change some of the drama-fueled things from the previous script so that it makes sense. This is why when you start doing the work, you might lose your job. And many people I've worked with, this has happened. I had someone in my EMF program, so it's a 6-month transformation program that we run, and about 2 weeks into the EMF, she quit her job because, again, she moved up floors very quickly and she knew to trust it, quit her job, and guess what happened? She got a new one in a week with higher pay that she loved so much more. Now, why did this happen? Because she moved up floors, and instead of getting scared and going back down when the job, she was going to lose the job and she was going to quit the job, and there would be another way that it left her, she didn't quit. She would have been fired, something would have happened, or she would have had to gone back down floors, which means lower her consciousness, which is not really a good thing to do, right, if you're trying to grow. And so what happened is she knew to quit it because she was on this higher floor, and we helped her through this. And then a new job showed up in a week. Because once that was written out of the script, it's like, oh, okay, bring her a much more relevant job for the script that she's on right now, which is the action adventure comedy or whichever one it is. When you move up in the building to a higher level of consciousness, to a more fun, favorable movie, the script writers on that new floor inherit the script from the previous floor. Now, why is this so crucial to understand? It's because most people start doing the inner work, right? If you're on my channel, you may have experienced this. You're doing the meditations, you're doing the affirmations, you're feeling great now. All these things are happening. But I almost guarantee if not much is changing in your life, you're kind of going up the floor, stepping out of the elevator, and then something kicks up, the so-called chaos, and you're like, no, 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 and you go back down. Because you don't understand that through the law of continuity, the chaos has to be there. And your job is to embrace it, is to understand that if chaos is there, if you're doing the work in the way that we talk about, like you're really raising your consciousness and then there's chaos, that's just the natural process of change in life occurring. It's a good thing. It's moving things around. It's changing your movie set to adhere to the new script of the script writers on the floor you've moved up to. All right, so now you've learned about the movie script analogy. You've learned about the law of continuity, which is so crucial, which is why this chaos starts coming up. You've learned that the chaos is not there to beat you up. It is feedback. It is trying to give you something that will strengthen you along the path so you're ready for that next grade. But if you're not, you will stay on the grade that you're on. You'll stay on the floor that you're on if you keep going back down the elevator because you don't want to embrace the storm. But how do we actually do that? So now that the storm is here, you know why the storm is here, that's all well and good, because then if you're in the storm, it's a lot different than talking about it. So what can we do to lower the impact of the storm on your emotions, to lower the impact of the storm so you don't get hooked in, and instead you can embrace the storm so that you move on to that next level, you pass the tests, and you're starting to create much more powerfully. So the first thing I want to mention is having more loyalty to the vision and trusting the process. You see, the chaos comes up and we go into solution mode and I got to do this to, quell the fire. It's like you're putting out fires all day, and I want you to relax. And I want you to keep your mind's eye on the vision you have for yourself. When you give more loyalty to the vision than the sense data, that is when you start winning the game of life. Because the sense data, everything you have in your physical, like I mentioned earlier, is simply an energetic history. The energy is what's happening right now. Everything in your life is simply an accumulation of energy you have entertained and put into action in the past. Because it takes longer for energy to coalesce, to be brought about, to be attracted into your life, to form whatever it is that you are currently experiencing. It is a history. So if you start arguing with the things on set at all of these things in your reality, you are literally trying to change things that are historic, that are history, that are the past, instead of focusing on what it is you can focus on now. That's going to help create a new energetic history for you. And when you have more loyalty to the vision, than you do in the current physical circumstances, you start to create a new future that will eventually become an energetic history that you actually want to live in. And so when the storm comes up, I want you to tune back into your vision. I want you to not get hooked in to whatever the drama is in the external world that's trying to hook you. To not get hooked into it, to not get, crazy about it, to get blown into the storm, but to remain calm no matter how much it's raining, no matter how much is being kicked up, because eventually that chaos will settle into a new level of coherence and order for you, which is the next grade. But if you get hooked in, you're just going to remain back in whatever grade you're currently in. Ultimately, when you lower the importance, solutions naturally start to present themselves and you can come through the storm. Now, one tool I'm going to give you, which is magical and you can use it all the time, is what we call amalgams. These are phrases or mantras you can say that kind of lessen the blow of whatever is going on. For example, a really good one is something positively amazing is unfolding for me now. When you understand that the chaos is actually not to screw you over and is actually here for your benefit, and you just don't know what's happening or how it's happening, you can say something like that with full confidence, knowing, oh wait, I know this is for my benefit. I know the universe is working for me. How many people say that? But how many people actually demonstrate that? There's so many people that go, I know the universe is working for me, but then when the chaos comes up, that suddenly goes out the window. What if you were to say that to yourself repeatedly and really believe it, really connect to it? You know what? I don't know why this is good, but I know it's for my benefit because the universe is always unfolding for me. These things are happening for me. I know this is so that something can be cleared out, for me to learn something, for me to gain feedback, whatever else it is. And so something positively amazing is unfolding for me now. The universe is always working in my favor. You want to find a phrase or a few phrases you can use that you genuinely believe that will help you to lessen the harshness of whatever is occurring, that lets you lower the importance and not get hooked into it and think, you got to run around and solve all this stuff, right? So have some of these phrases. I just gave you some of my favorites. Another one of mine is, I'm thrilled to just be a part of whatever it is, regardless of the outcome. So for example, maybe some things have stalled in my business. I'll say, I'm thrilled that I get to do what it is that I do, that I get to do something that I love, regardless of what the outcome ends up being, or regardless of the outcomes. And that helps me in moments where maybe there's more of an ebb than a flow happening in my business, or maybe there's more of, just a quietness versus a harvest, or a planting or kind of a nurturing phase versus a harvest. I'll say that just to remind myself, I love doing this. Don't get worked up about this, and have more faith in the vision rather than what's appearing in the outside right now. So you want to have some of these phrases for yourself to really, again, shift the energy in these moments, and it's going to help you to embrace the storm. Another thing is to stay rooted in the inner world. Remember that the outer world follows the inner. It's the same thing as saying that your outer world is an energetic history because it follows the inner world. It is the history of what you have been doing in your inner world, the thoughts, the energy, even how you speak to yourself, the actions you take from that place is what's going to produce your energetic history. And so really start investing more in your inner. And I know I've mentioned this on the channel, and I'm not going to explain it because I have in other videos, but this reality that we're a part of is actually 99.999999% energy and empty space, and only 0.00001% matter. And so when you give more attention to the matter over the inner, over the non-physical, you are really leaving so much on the table when it comes to your reality creation abilities. And so when stuff's kicking up in that 0.00001%, go into the 99.9+% that actually creates most of reality. Go into the inner world and ask for guidance. Go and do your meditations, do your inner work, really monitor your thoughts, really again use those amalgams, really make sure your energy is high and see what comes through from there. What actions to take? What should I do? Is there something I should do in response to this storm, or do I just need to sit back and let it play out? But when you go back into the inner, you start creating your outer much more powerfully because the outer follows that inner place. Now, something that's going to wire this in even more potently, even more powerfully, is this video over here, where I give you the full reality creation blueprint that's known by like secret societies and some of the most successful and fulfilled people that have ever lived. This is such an amazing video. It's absolutely free right here as well. It's just chock full of so much amazing wisdom and practicality that's going to help you to actually get this.